refresh.
And we are live. How we doing, everybody? Beautiful evening on this beautiful Thursday night. Look, I got my girl with me tonight, boss lady in the house, y'all.
Hang on,
We're gonna share this.
Okay.
Is it live?
Yeah,
How
I got
can I
the
see it?
notification on my phone.
Can you see it?
Computer. Technology.
Success is waiting, so why ignore it? Cause you can meet it tomorrow morning. We're gonna turn this down a little bit. Welcome everybody. How we doing this wonderful evening? Thank you for joining us tonight on this Next Generational Leader podcast in episode 2. I appreciate it very much. We are getting started here tonight. I hope you guys are having a blessed evening. Bear with me a minute. We're gonna do some sharing because it ain't pulling up on my phone. And look, oh crap, that's loud. All right, so tonight I am super honored. I'm excited. Me and Crystal have known each other, I guess, for about a year, and we met like everybody else on Facebook. So just to introduce myself, if you don't know me, my name is Raymond Wright. I am the founder of Right Way Leadership Transformational Coaching. And like I always say, I am your motivator, I am your inspirator, but most importantly, I am your transformator, because my object is to give you the tools, resources to bridge the gap from where you're at to where you want to go. I know that's a mouthful, but we are changing lives. And the whole reason behind this podcast, this Next Generation Leaders, because I believe young ladies like Crystal O'Brien, who I call Boss Lady, is the up and coming next generation leaders who's going to change things, serve the people, and help, whether it's in business, whether it's in relationships, and definitely in leadership. So with that, Crystal O'Brien, she is the founder of My Pristine Clean. She is a U.S. Army, correct? Army? Is it Army? Come on, I don't
hurt my feelings, Ray.
Listen, Navy.
That's better.
Well, I should have remembered because my brother's in the Navy, so I apologize. But she is a U.S. veteran, and we appreciate that very much. And her husband is as well, so double appreciation. She also is a servant leader in the community, and she's all about giving back. She's always trying to find ways to serve. And that is what this is about. It's about people who genuinely use their gifts, their skills, their businesses to move the community forward. So this is the boss lady. Look, I even did it. Boom, baby. So with that, Crystal, go ahead and introduce yourself with anything that I forgot, because I probably did, because I don't have my mind in front of me because I'm trying to share and I'm just confused.
You nailed it, man. You nailed it.
Woo! I'm a hammer. I'm a hammer.
Yes, sir. You are.
Can you see comments? Can you see comments? I see
Aww.
Tanya's in the house.
Aww.
Richie's in the house. What's going on, Richie? It's been a while, brother. Sharonda, hey, doctor, how you doing? Good to see you. Stevens, what's up, brother? Stevens in the house. My man, Reggie Turner.
Reggie.
What's going on, Steve? And then, some guy named Sean is on here. I don't know who that is.
No, they're watching from the living room. Really sweet.
So I'm gonna share real quick. Bear with me 1 second. So Crystal, she's also a mother of 2 and a wife of 1. I just had to throw that in there. I thought that was funny. I put that earlier.
Sometimes mother of 3, but I love my husband.
Huh? What?
Sometimes mother of 3, but I love my
husband.
Oh
man, I was like, dude, you had another kid I didn't know about? All right, so I thought maybe there was another kid I didn't know about. Whew.
No, I mean,
man, I was gonna say you work fast. Sorry, guys, it's adult humor here. Anyways, I'm sharing real quick. Bear with me 1 second. We're sharing. We're sharing. We're sharing. We're sharing. We're sharing. Are you sharing? I don't know if we're sharing. Anyways, here we go. We're going to get started now. I can see comments. You guys can ask questions. You guys can chime in, but it doesn't mean I'm going to answer. So, anyway, we're going to get into this. And again, this whole podcast is because I respect Crystal very much. And I want to, how I was introduced to Crystal is I was scrolling through Facebook and I just saw this ray of sunshine, this big smile that just radiant. It really, you ever scrolled through something and you seen something and it just stopped you in your tracks? Well, that's what Crystal did for me with her smile. I just saw a sense, there was an energy that was behind it. And my friend requested her and she accepted it, believe it or not. And that was kind of, so I followed her. I would comment on her stuff. She would comment back. And then I think we met for the first time and it was pretty cool. And then from there, during COVID, we were able to do some Zoom calls together. Really kind of build. Absolutely. We built a good relationship and here we are. And I'm just a fan. I'm a fan. I encourage her. She encourages me. And that's really what it's about. But I know there's a lot of things that she does and that she wants to do that's really about the city of Hagerstown, moving the community forward. And that is why this show's here. So I guess first, tell the people what you do.
We're going to need all night. No, kidding.
Hey, we have all night. I can talk. I can talk.
So I own a cleaning company.
And I'm drinking coffee.
I love that mug. Where'd you get it? And why are you drinking coffee at 9 o'clock at night? You are out of your mind.
Because I have to leave at 5 a.m. to go to South Carolina. So I figured I'll have a couple. I'll have a couple cups of coffee. I'll pretend like I sleep and I'll wake up ready to go. I'm sorry.
Love it. Love it.
I love that, Sean. Sean said Michaela loves seeing her mommy do amazing things. Amen. That's fantastic. That's what it's all about. Next generation leaders.
Yeah. So no joke. We were watching you, and I have the hardest time pronouncing her name.
Sarai?
Yeah. We were watching you guys last night, and you dropped my name, and the kids were like, "What? You're gonna be on this show, Mom? This is awesome." They've been talking about it all day. So
that is so cool. That is so cool. Hey man, but that's what it's all about. I always say it's about changing. So what I have here is this right here. It's changing the legacy for future generations. Right? That's what our topic is. It's changing the legacy. And it really starts with us. It starts with us. It starts with the Crystals. It starts with myself. It starts with the Sarais. It starts, in the home. And then what we are able to accomplish in the home as a family, it soaks into the business that we start if we're entrepreneurs. And then it soaks into the community that we serve. So anyways, let me shut up. You keep getting me rambling on. So tell the good people what you do.
Okay, so I own My Pristine Clean. It's a cleaning company in Hagerstown. Oh my goodness, especially lately, we've been doing a lot of expanding and a lot of readjusting, which has been woo, to say the least. But we also have been making it a point, especially this year during 2020, to have a lot more involvement with the community, because whether it comes to boosting people up, having that positivity all the way down to free house cleanings and, trying to participate in every, event and, be involved with just everybody. We want to do it all. We want to spread ourselves so thin. But seriously, we are not just a cleaning company, and I'm not just a business owner. I care a lot about people. I care about keeping people uplifted. Ray, that's one of the reasons I started following you after you added me on Facebook. I love the positivity, and I love seeing people come together, whether you're rich, poor, whatever. It is such a beautiful thing to see people get along to begin with.
Absolutely.
There's so much negativity. It's ridiculous. So just to see somebody walking down the street, hey, I really like your shoes, or something like that. Just putting a smile on people's faces, keeping them uplifted. There's a lot involved with that. So I really went off track, but yeah.
No. I love it because that's the whole point, is that speaks to the side of you that attracts me, is that true, authentic, empathetic heart that just wants to serve people, even if it even if it doesn't benefit you. You know what I mean? Because sometimes leadership is moving forward even when you don't benefit from it. I always say it's a win-win situation. It's got to be a win-win. I'm sure, I know there's times, I talked about it on Monday morning, is, if I'm coaching somebody and they're not responding after 5, 6, 7 weeks, then it's almost like, what, maybe there's somebody else you need to work with, because obviously you're not getting anywhere,
Your mic's breaking up a little bit. You told me to tell you.
Hold on. Oh, is that better?
Mic check.
Mic check.
1 2 1 2.
My mic sound nice. But anyway, so that's kind of where we're going. I don't know why my microphone goes into static like that. It's so annoying.
It's
but
weird.
It is weird. It didn't do it the other day. Anyways, let me not get off track. Chicka way. Anyways. See, we're gonna have fun all night. Make sure you tip us at the end. Tip us at the end. So, first question I want to ask.
This is
right?
fun.
This is fun. This is what it's supposed to be about. Entrepreneurship is tough work. Building a business is tough work. Being a mother, running a business is tough work, right? So we got to have fun. We got to enjoy the journey. If you don't enjoy the journey, you will hate success. If you do not enjoy the journey, you will hate success. And so many people chase success without enjoying the journey. So let me ask you that. We'll go into the first question. That's not one that I wrote down. But what has been the most enjoyable in this whole journey for you? Like, as a business owner, not as a mom. We know moms and dads love their children, so we're gonna leave them out of it. But
that's a given.
So like, what's been the what
we do?
Yeah, I'm telling you. Look, the kids are a must, right? So we just this is our night. But oh my gosh, I swear to God, this is only coffee. I swear to God, it's only coffee. But so what has been the most like enjoyable part of the journey? Because I know there's a lot of down stuff, especially in the process of getting started.
All right, I'm going to start off on a negative, which is rare, but every time. Okay, so every time I encounter a negative situation, which is freaking daily, daily.
Mm-hmm.
And if anyone that currently or has worked for me or with me, especially in this industry, high five, you know how it goes. It's the industry in itself, especially nowadays.
Tough industry. Absolutely.
Coming back to work, it's just hell on earth. But being able to employ people who need flexible hours, who just need a little bit of extra income, all the way to people who need a full-time income, it feels really good to have that flexibility to offer people needing flexibility. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
So we can be someone who says, I need to be off by 2 o'clock every day. I got to get my kids off the bus or whatever, back when, before COVID, etc. We were able to be like, okay, well, we can only schedule a couple houses a day for you, but we'll work with you. So come on board. And it's worked out beautifully. I mean, I love being able to do that. I love being able to employ people, especially like single moms and people just trying to keep a roof over their heads. And
Amen.
It's very rewarding. And we do everything we can to help them out all together. So that's kind of a nutshell, but that's one of the very positive things about what we do.
Good.
And
Absolutely. Serving people.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's important. And no matter what kind of business you're in, you're always going to get people, no matter what you do, are just not going to be happy. Right. That's part, and you are in. So I was in facilities management and stuff for years. And one of the hardest things, I mean, my gosh, is janitorial staff, cleaning staff, the food industry, retail industry. Oh my gosh, just so turnover, and it's so hard, and it costs a company so much money. People don't understand that. It costs a company so much money with the constant turnaround, because you got to retrain, you got to I mean, it's just, it's brutal. So I commend you a lot, for consistent. And you've been in business how long?
6 years.
So 6 years.
Yeah, the turnover not only affects the bottom line ultimately, but it also affects the veteran employees who are constantly having to build relationships with these people they're training and taking the time to train them. It's like Groundhog Day for some of them. It's like, okay, well, we just got a new one. She was good for 2 weeks, and all of a sudden, it really sucks for them. I don't really necessarily care about having to go through the hiring process and how much it costs to train someone. It's the toll it takes on the person training the person that ends up leaving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's really discouraging as, an employer to see that, because then you got to take a step back and reevaluate, like, okay, do I need to sit down and talk to this person? How can I keep them motivated? Because they're, like I said, they're living through Groundhog Day. And it sucks. But the ones that stay, we have a very solid team right now. And I'm very, very proud to say that, because I know several cleaning company owners in this area who are struggling right now.
Wow.
Struggling. Because people, I mean, don't get me wrong, a lot of people are still afraid to return to work right now. And they're still just, I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to keep, staying at home on unemployment or whatever. So a lot of people in the service industry are really struggling with that, especially when you're in people's homes, you're in people's office places. It's not like you're going to one office and then going home. You're going to multiple places. So it's kind of it's a very hard situation to be in, but yeah.
And that's pretty impressive, but that says highly of yourself to be able to still and having exponential growth, like you're having growth too at the same time. Not only are you able to keep what you got, but you're able to build upon that too. And that says something for yourself. And that's amazing. That's amazing. But I think that goes to who you are. I think that goes, and that's what I think people love, right? And again, you're not going to please everybody, but the goal is that word team, right? That word team. Yeah. Everyone used to tell me, right? Together, everyone achieves more. And I love that. But I changed it a little bit. And I said, together, everyone attracts momentum, right? Because I truly believe
Rayism?
That is a Rayism.
I love it.
And it's because this is the thing. The only way you really get exponential growth is in momentum.
Right.
And if you take the foot off the pedal, see, there's a lot of people out there that say it's not about money, it's not about this, it's not about that, it's not about this. The bottom line is this. If you're not going to go perform, someone else is. And someone else who is out there performing might not do the things with the money that you can do, the things with the business that you're going to do. I know you pour back in. I know you do a lot of stuff. For example, I mean, you do giveaways, you do house cleanings, and explain to everybody, because you did something awesome when we were doing in the COVID, is you did house cleanings for the frontline workers. Tell me how that came about and how that went.
Okay, so we're always having brainstorming sessions with, our crew members and things like that during our meetings, and just, you guys thought of any ideas? How can we help out more? Because that is, whenever they're hired, we tell them straight up, like, we are community involved, and we're going to ask you to volunteer if you don't want to do it during your work day or whatever. A lot of them they're down for it, so
Absolutely.
they're very, very good people. We have a couple guys working for us now, so I can't say girls. But we were having a couple of those brainstorm sessions, and one of my employees texted me that evening, and she was like, you know what, with all this stuff going on, you might want to do something for like nurses and, anyone working on the front line. So I was like, huh, okay, that's a really good idea. So I put the feelers out there on Facebook, which I love to do so much.
I love it.
We ended up raising $1,000, which was
Wow.
our goal. And then we matched every cent that was donated. So we had $2,000 set aside for free house cleanings for frontliners. And
That's so awesome.
With the general public during the COVID shutdown. So it was great.
Absolutely. What a great initiative to do, because it just shows again the fact that you're trying to serve on any level possible. And I think during this whole, I don't even like use the word COVID, because
daily.
Yeah, I know. You have to, and you had to do a lot of maneuvering, and you had to do a lot of changing. And hey, she just blew me a kiss. No.
Ray's blushing over here.
Hey, I knew I gotta find jokes. I gotta try to make funny jokes every chance possible, because my kids tell me, Dad, you're just the lamest. Right? Oh my gosh, I couldn't even imagine. You guys would probably have me pee my pants.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting.
Listen, so I want. Let me ask you this. So this is a question I want to ask you, because I want people to get to know Crystal a little bit. I want to get people, and a lot of people know Crystal, but I want them to see, like, the whole point is, like, this is what I keep telling Crystal, right? I keep telling Crystal, man, there's something big coming. And I always tell her, like, I've been telling her for months and months and months, you don't even know it yet. Like, what I see, this is Scout's honor. I don't know. I've never been a Scout. I don't think they would have let me be a Scout. I would have stole all their badges. But
or set the forest on fire accidentally. No, I'm just kidding.
I could tell you a story, but I'm not going to go there. This is about next generation leaders. We're not going to talk about juvenile detention or juvenile. Right. Never mind. So
different podcast.
that's the trouble I got out of podcast, but I'm sorry. See, Crystal makes me goofy. But I was telling Crystal, and I've been telling her, there's big things coming. I believe that exponential growth, not only in Hagerstown, but outside of Hagerstown, because I believe her personality, I believe her desire, I believe her willingness, and I believe her leadership is going to bring big opportunities to her. And I can't wait till I get that phone call where you're like, guess what? Is that
instead of Ray, help me, I'm losing my mind. That's usually how it goes.
Hey, but we all need a little bit of both at times, right? We all need a little bit of both at times. So let me ask this. How do you know when you have the right idea? Like, how do you know when you have the right idea?
Okay, so I always have 3,000 tabs open, and I come up with at least 5 different ideas a day. I don't know who's all watching, but I know a couple people who are probably watching who can probably attest to that, because I'm always throwing stuff out at them at like 1 o'clock in the morning. They're like, what the hell? I was trying to sleep. But I feel like whenever I share an idea with someone and they're like, that's a really good idea. I'm like, cool. Step one, I got approval from another human being who's not crazy like I am inside my brain.
Yeah.
And then I start tapping into like different resources I can tap into, and like, I actually come up with a little mini business plan because I'm a nerd. And I feel like if it surpasses that, it's a good idea.
Yeah, baby.
I don't know. I just took you down like a trail in my brain.
It's okay. Trails are good. Did you leave little things that I could find my way back out? I need directions sometimes. But success, this is the cool thing, right? Success leaves clues. We don't have to go in this thing blind, right? I mean, I'm in the coaching industry. There's millions of people that think they're coaches, right? And not everyone is a coach, but everyone at one time or another will be called upon to lead, but only few will take that baton, so to say, right? Leadership isn't for the many, it's for the few. But a lot of people like to claim leadership. You know what I mean? And as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as a community builder, as whatever you are, counsel people, there is a lot of people who will claim leadership, but the display is far and few between, right? So I see it a lot. I see showing up does not make you a leader. Making an appearance does not make you a leader. Your money does not make you a leader, right? Nope. The way you serve those that are so far from you, those that you can't get no benefit from, those that you hope can get to a certain level, whether it benefits you or not. And then leadership is leadership is standing on the front lines while somebody else is building on the back, right? We allow them chances to grow. Man, I'm fascinated with leadership. I'm fascinated with leadership. I think leadership is a phenomenal thing. Leaders do one thing I think is the most important, is they put people first. They always put people first. They don't put agendas first, but that's the problem we have, I think, is agendas. So next question, how do you feel and how do you build a dynamic team?
Okay. Taking a step back and evaluating people's strengths and like weaknesses is probably my step A. I mean, nobody's perfect. Everybody has weaknesses. So to build a good team, we usually pair people up who are opposites. So let's say Susie might have strengths in this, but she's weak in this. So we're going to take somebody who has strengths in this and weaknesses in this, which is opposite or close to Susie, and they make a really good freaking team because they're able to balance each other out and they're able to support one another. Absolutely. And then you take that, add more to it, and some shenanigans along the way. Boom, solid team. So
I like that. And that's that's important. It reminds me, and I'm going to go biblically here, right? It reminds me of Moses in the Bible. When God came to Moses and he told Moses that he basically, I got something for you to do. And Moses said, I can't speak. He wanted him, right? He said, I can't speak. Mm-hmm. And so after God was like, man, I ought to backhand you, young man. But that's what we want to do with our children too. But what he did is he gave him a speaker. He gave him somebody to relay the message for him, right? So it's important because some of us have strengths, some of us have weaknesses. I think the key is in team too is to know that. So that's great. That is awesome that you do that. That's exactly what leaders do. And hopefully when we're hiring people or we're working with people, that when you pair them up together, that those strengths will start to wear off on the other person's weaknesses, and it'll
Yes,
raise their level up.
they do. It's
Absolutely. Absolutely.
so magical.
It's and that creates man, that creates some flow. It creates some flow, and you can, yeah. And so I love this about you, right? And I don't know if everybody knows, but Crystal is also a coach. If you guys didn't know that Crystal was a coach, she is Coach Boss Lady Crystal O'Brien, right? So I want to add that in there. But so she coaches business owners, she coaches people who are wanting to start companies. And what I love about Crystal is she literally will train the people that work for her and ask them, like, I will train you so maybe you can start your own company. I've heard you have these conversations. We've talked about this before. And so my question is what do you think is so important to be able to, like, because it's hard to find good people and it's hard to hold on to good people. But what I love about you is not only are you willing to hire good people, train good people, but you're willing to train them kind of to be a competitor. And I love that. So what is your mindset behind that? So first talk about the mindset behind training someone to start their own company. And then give me an understanding.
Oh, thanks, Nick.
Oh, look at Nick, brother Nick, stealing my thunder, Nick. No, I'm just kidding. So explain that part to me, why that's important for you, right? And then the other part of that question, explain to me what made you want to become a coach in the business, and what kind, where do you see that going?
Ooh, that is loaded, Ray.
Ooh, like a potato?
No, I have had two people who have decided to basically take what we taught them and start their own cleaning businesses. They're both very successful right now. One lives in Hancock and the other lives in Chambersburg. I'm still in communication with them. I'm always, sending or trying to send them work. And, the one, she left to start her own business, I think 3 years ago. She's still texting me and calling me like, I don't know what to do with this. I'm losing my mind. Can you please help? I'm like, yeah, sure. What's going on? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I can relate. I'm going through the same thing right now. And so is everybody else. So take a step back, take a deep breath. We're going to make it through this. What was the other part of the question?
It was so when we talk about coaching, when we talk about coaching, like what made you want to step into that from being a business owner and running the day-to-day operations, then to taking it a step and saying, you know what, I want to coach other people who are in business, entrepreneurs, so forth and so on?
Okay. So when we first started, we had no help at all, except some solid freaking work ethic. We had mentors. We had nobody to point us in any direction. I'm going to skip that part in my brain. And then I ended up reaching out to Aaron Petternitz, which was one of our very first clients. And I was like, hey, man, how the hell do you do this? You are very successful. Like, I want to pick your brain. Please help me. And that was probably going on 3 years ago. And he has taught me so many things. He's got me plugged in to the community in many ways. He's introduced me to so many people. And if it wasn't for him, we would probably be still teeny tiny. So you have to find somebody who has common interest and who is like as motivated as you, and who is willing to sit down and take time out of their extremely busy day to just talk to you and figure out what you want to do, what your goals are, and where you want to see yourself within maybe a year, maybe 6 months, whatever it is, whatever your length of time, the goals you're setting are,
Absolutely.
and just like to listen to you, listen to you vent, listen to what you actually want to do. A lot of people are not willing to do that.
Yeah.
So if you're able to be lucky enough to find a good mentor, if you're able to find someone who will give you their time and their experience, blood, sweat, and tears, and whatever they have locked in their brain from
Such a good point.
their journey, that is a blessing within itself.
Mm.
So find yourself an Aaron.
I mean, that's
That's
well,
what inspires me to help others, because I swear he was on like 8 different boards. He was running his business. He had like no time for anyone, but he still took that time to sit down with us and coach us. So that's one of the main reasons why I do this.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
I love that. And you said one key thing that is the most important, right? And so I do believe, like, the most successful people, there's an old saying where it says, if you want something done, give it to a busy person, right? Because and I'm not talking about the average person every day who says, I'm just so busy. I'm so busy. I'm so busy.
Yeah.
I have a friend of mine who said, if you're so busy, you must be very successful, right? Because just because you say you're busy, just because you think you're busy, you're typically busy doing non-productive things that don't have any return on it, right? So, but you said one key thing. You said that you seeked out him. You seeked out him. See, most people do not succeed in life because they're too afraid to reach out to someone that's successful. They think that they're going to be shot down. They think that but that is the most critical thing I have found in my time, right? Now, I'm a young punk kid that was homeless, addicted, in and out of detention centers. And when I got around my first millionaire, and I didn't even know he was a millionaire, and somebody said, did you know who that was? And I'm like, no. Right? And that guy, and he became my mentor. He became my mentor. And it was the most, wow. I can't even tell you. And it was married 39 years, had businesses all over the world. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Had a freaking, beautiful home in Pennsylvania. Traveled and spoke on stages. And I actually got to sit on his couch and conversate with him. I mean, who would have thunk a young punk kid like me would have let somebody like that would have let me in their house? But that's what I mean. It's so, so incredible. And I believe this. You mentioned mentorship. Nobody should be in business. Nobody should be coaching. Nobody should be doing anything of any type of success principles, even in marriage, even in parenting, without some form of coach or mentorship. It's needed. It's a must. You must.
You're damn Skippy.
Whew, I'm damn Skippy.
Seriously.
It's so true, right?
What the heck I was doing until I started, meeting with Aaron and others. Like, I had no idea. I mean, Google can only take you so far.
Absolutely.
Literally.
Yeah.
So you gotta network, you gotta make connections, you gotta not only do you gain knowledge from others who have been successful and who have been through it, but you get plugged in. You are able to have these opportunities to help out. To be involved with community, to be involved with nonprofits, and just even down to like, hey, I have a friend who needs help next weekend moving. Okay, cool. If you didn't have that connection with people, which coming from an introvert, I'm really on a soapbox right now. I'm a mega introvert, but I've learned to break out of my shell a little bit. COVID's helped me a lot during 2020 because I've made a lot of connections via Facebook and social media. which was like my go-to to begin with. So I was like, woo. But yeah, if you don't have connections with people, you have nothing. You have yourself, and you can only go so far with that. So
Absolutely, man. That was. Oh man, I hope you guys are picking up on some of the things that's being discussed, because you can't have true success unless, and like, there are people that can go out there and make it happen, but they're following some type of track record,
yep.
right? Will Smith said it when I was listening to an interview with Will Smith years ago. Will Smith, the first book he ever read when he was in some IRS problems, he when he made that summertime, he was dealing with some IRS issues, and he owed the IRS quite a bit of money. You know, young kid. I mean, we're not taught these things when we're, and he read a book, and it was called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. If you guys have not read that book, if any of you have not read that book, I'm demanding you that you go buy Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Yes, you do it. Because that book, he says one thing that I learned, and he made all his kids read it too. But he said the one thing I learned: why would I keep year after year trying to learn something that it took somebody 20 years to learn? I can read it and apply it into my life in a month.
Yes.
Like, there's so much great stuff out there. One of the greatest books that was ever written for an entrepreneur, if you speak to any entrepreneur that's doing massive things, and they'll tell you this, they'll tell you the number one book that they've all read 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It is one of the most incredible books you will ever read. And when you read that book, I'm telling you right now, you guys, when you read that book, Think and Grow Rich, whoo, if you didn't have a burning desire, you'll start searching for it. I can tell you that much.
Oh, Sean, you're so sweet.
I know. I was just reading that. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Go on the road,
Ray.
Let's go. Motivators. Not regulators, motivators. See where I'm going with that one?
Yeah, I like that. I like that. I like that. But I just want everybody to fully understand how important it is to have somebody. And it's not, listen, a mentor does not tell you what to do. Nope. A mentor advises you, right? A mentor can lead you, but ultimately it's your decision whether you want to take their advice or not, right? They're going to hold you accountable. They're going to stand by you, and they're going to remind you of why you said what you wanted to do, right? And then they will lead you in a direction. They'll lead you to the water. Mentors will lead you to the water based on how they got there, and they will teach you how to implement things that you can bypass a lot of the pains that they went through. So I could go on the mentor and coaching thing forever.
Ooh,
but
I'm loving this. I'm loving this. It's so true.
It's so important. It's so important. Think of the time if you didn't have an Aaron that came into your life. You know what I mean? Even if you did succeed, it probably would have took you a lot longer. You know, you ever seen that thing where it says people think success is a straight line? You make a decision and then you go. No, but it's really like this. Right? But daily. The key is when you get a mentor, you get somebody, it takes a little bit of the steeps off, but you're still going to go through it, because I believe it's a molding process. I don't believe you can have anything in life or lead people or run a great business if you don't go through the bumps, the bruises, the setbacks, the failures. And that's going to be the next question that I'm going to ask, right? What is Crystal's mindset? I want us to go into Crystal's mindset as a leader, right? What is the mindset when you feel like quitting or giving up? What is that? How do you take us through that process? Because you got to be honest. I'll be honest with you. There's times in my journey where I'm like, nobody's changing. This isn't working. This is stupid. I'm not doing this anymore. And I got to say, Raymond, shut up. So what is, like, when COVID happens, when 3 or 4 people quit on you at the same time, when maybe when a customer owes you money and they don't pay and you're like, this is too much? What is that mindset? What do you do when you feel that? Like when you're like, you know what, I'm done.
Okay, so first I quit. I do. I tell everyone I quit. And they're like, oh, you're funny. You can't do that. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. So here we go. I take everything that is going wrong and I break it down into little situations and I pick it apart in my brain. I'm like, okay, this can go here. We can put a Band-Aid on this. We can do this and this and this. And you know what? It's motivating to me. So I guess I'm in the right field. I don't know. I mean, I get stressed out at first, but I'm like, hell yeah, let's do this. Let's take care of this. It's only a little issue.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, like the world's exploding. But when it comes to that, I look at my staff and I look at, you know, the foundation behind what's going to keep the problem afloat.
Yes.
What holes can I plug in this boat to keep it from sinking? And that goes all the way back to my staff and the veteran staff. Like, they are amazing. All I have to do is reach out to them and be like, hey, we have this going on. This is changing. Sorry, guys. You know, one team, one fight. Let's do this. Let's do it now. And let's do it good. And they are like, hell yeah, let's go. So, whew, I mean, I could sit here for an hour talking about how great my team is and how great my support system is. And I'm just surrounded by amazing people. I am blessed. I am happy to say that I am truly blessed.
I love it.
So when it comes to when I feel like quitting, I kind of lean on them a little bit, like not like too much, but like I kind of, okay, guys, I'm stepping out of my boss chair here. Can you like give me a shoulder for a second? Can we make this work? You know what I mean? And that's honestly,
I love it.
What am I thinking of? I'm not saying that's what they're there for, but we all have our camaraderie. And
I love it. I love it.
God bless him. He deals with so many hours of ranting from me. It's not even funny. Like, it's
so I'm just when you said that, you know what I just pictured? I don't know if you remember the commercial, but there's a referee. It's a commercial of a football ref, and he's sitting on the sideline, and the coach is just giving him hell. He is just, and he's like this close to his ear, and he is spitting all in his face, and the referee's sitting there. And the guy and the commentator's like, I don't know how he does it. And then it shows him at a picture at his home watching television with his wife in his ear. I don't know why I just pictured that. That is hilarious. Sorry, that's so funny. Whoo, that was a moment. That was a Ray moment right there. That just hit me like that. That was hilarious. But so I want to go back to this. That's so funny. That's so, but it's okay that you have that kind of relationship in your marriage where he can understand that, because I mean, that type of work, and you're both been in the military. So you already know that, I can only imagine, I mean, God bless you guys for doing what you do. My brother's in the Navy out in California. You said two things that I first off, you were talking about how you take all the big picture and you break it down into pieces and you pick it apart. When you're saying that, I'm gonna break it down a little bit, because what I hear you saying is what I hear so many people fail at. And there's this kind of thing that this professor did in class, right? And he took this glass jar and he put the glass jar on the table, right? And he started to talk about your priorities, your big rocks. Yeah. And he started, right? And he started to say, okay, you take this rock and you fill it with sand and you fill it with pebbles and you fill it with water, and you can't get the big rocks in, right? He says, what we need to understand in life is we need to put the big rocks in first. Then you fill it with sand, which fills the gaps. Then you put all the pebbles in. Then you pour the water in. So when you put the big rocks in first, you start to knock out the priorities. See, so when you say, when you pick it apart, what I hear you saying is you find out what is really important, and because urgency is always not priority. Emergency is not always priority. And we tend to allow the emergencies and the urgencies affect the priorities, which keeps us off track, right in our face. So when I hear you saying pick it apart, I hear you saying, okay, this is everything that I'm doing. This needs to be addressed. Boom, but not right now. This really, I could do this. This is something I want to do, but I'll worry about that next year. And then you take really what needs to happen, you get it out in front of you, and you attack that. You attack what's going to build your business. You attack what's going to serve the people. And then you said something else, which is about foundation, right?
While we're picking things apart and we're talking about urgent matters, the most difficult part is looking at one that is urgent and having the guts to say, no, you're going to wait a second because I need to take
I felt that. I felt that.
Yeah, whether it be a customer or an employee, whatever the situation is, it's really hard to take a step back, take a deep breath, not cry, and be like, no, you're going to wait. This is going to wait. That's probably the hardest part about situations like that for me personally.
I love that. That is huge. Like when you said that, I felt that.
Right?
Because
I got goosebumps.
Because one of my biggest problems has always been saying no.
It's
no.
So hard.
It's so hard because you, as a servant, you want to serve people. The problem is a lot of times the people, and I'm gonna be honest with you as a coach, a lot of times you want to serve people, but they're not willing to do the work to serve themselves. So we find ourselves saying yes to people who have no interest in truly doing anything for themselves. So what it does is
to them.
Absolutely.
They want you to go, here's your solution. And you can't always do that. You can't.
Man, there's work to do, right? There's work to do. Oh, man. So when I hear you saying, and you're talking about the foundation, is I think of a book. And as you can tell, I am a nerd. I do like to read. But it's a book and it's called Leaders Eat Last, right? And as a business owner, Simon Sinek, if you guys don't know Simon Sinek, look up Simon Sinek. Simon Sinek has wrote some phenomenal books. Start with Why, Find Your Why, Leaders Eat Last, The Infinite Games. Like Simon Sinek says, stop listening to people saying it's all about your customers. It's not all about your customers. It's all about it's all about your employees. Because if you serve and you deliver to your employees will deliver to your customers. So I hear you saying that. It's taking a step back. It's pouring. It's understanding I'm going to feed what feeds me, which is your employees, right?
Yeah.
And that's so important as a leader. I wish more people would understand. Stop scaring people with the paycheck. Stop scaring people with the you're in charge. We know you're in charge. We know you're the boss. Love them. Ask them what you can do for them, how you can make their job better for them. Because when you can make their job better, in turn, it'll take it'll take more problems off of you, because now you can rely on. But the problem is with people, so-called leaders, is they cannot give control up. They cannot give control to their employees. They cannot give things.
Hard to do.
Right?
Delegation is, especially when you want to, if you're a people pleaser, delegation is really hard.
Absolutely. And like, you got to have.
Can you do this? I don't want to, overbear you. I don't want to overload your workload. But now I'm just like, okay, I got this. And take care of it. I know you can. Like I know your whole schedule.
That is the key. And you got right. Don't you? And you have to give people an opportunity to make mistakes. So when I
Yes,
coach youth
that's part
football,
two.
so this is what I notice a lot in especially up in this area in the Western Maryland area is I notice a lot of times what happens is a kid makes a mistake and they yank them off the court, they yank them off the field immediately, and they sit there, right? And they get yelled at, they don't get corrected, right? So what I used to do as a coach is I would get severely angry at the kid for making a simple mistake because it was laziness, but I'll pull them off the field on the sideline and I'll run a play or two and I'll explain to them, this is what you do. This is what we discussed. I need you to go back in there and make it right. And then you put them back in, but you got to let them go through the mistakes. You got to let your employees make mistakes. Now, there are some mistakes that cost, and you know what? As an employer, there's some times where that cost is detrimental and it costs them their job. Like you got to have that happy median too, because I'm going to tell you this. I always tell people when I coach them in business or when I talk anything about business is I say, stop hiring people, right? Because you just need, you need staff. Start hiring people that align with your goals, that align with your company, that align with the bigger picture, right? Because
Quality over quantity.
Quality over quantity. Because when you can hire those type, listen, I'm a coach. And I told we've talked. There are clients where I gotta say, I just don't think this is a good fit. This isn't a good fit.
Yeah.
This isn't a win-win. It isn't a win-win. I do not think I could serve you properly. I do not think that that you are in a place where you're going to let me say the things that I need to say to help you win. So you got to take a step back. It's not about the money all the time. It's about performing and it's about giving it your absolute best. And you want to build a team that is always, there's an old saying, give your absolute best when your best is expected. And your best is expected every day. I mean, that's
great.
It's a power statement. So let me get off my tangent and ask Crystal Boss Lady O'Brien another question. Because we're getting close to that hour mark. So but I love the things that you're saying because it's a business owner's perspective. And I think you have such a good quality in what you're doing in your business. And I respect that. So
thank you.
I'm gonna ask this.
Bring it.
What is Bring it?
Bring it.
Bring the other questions. No, I'm just kidding. What is the best advice you have been given up to this point in your life?
Man, that's a hard one. You can't please everyone. That's literally of all the hours of speaking with my mentors and things like that. You cannot please everybody.
Amen.
That was probably the very best advice I've ever got.
Especially if you're a people pleaser, huh?
Ooh, we sound like aliens.
Do we?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Sounds good on my end. Do I sound like an alien?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang. Let me try something. Do I still sound like an alien?
No. You sound like Ray again. Thank you.
This is my snowball.
It sounds good.
Sorry. So I don't even, I love that, especially like you were saying, as a people pleaser, you can't please everybody. And it's so true. You cannot please everybody. And you shouldn't try to please everybody because it'll ruin it will ruin businesses. Trying to please everybody will ruin business because I'm gonna tell you what, there are some people that don't want to be pleased and they will make your life miserable.
Oh my goodness. You just, yeah. They're, oh man, those are always the best.
Mm.
Whether it be staff members or clients, like you
Yep.
always have someone who is just like, I hate the world today, and there's nothing you can say to change that.
Yep.
So I hate you as well because I hate the world.
Yep.
And it's okay. I tried, right? I did the best I could.
You can't serve everyone that doesn't want to be served.
Yeah, like have a good day.
There's this thing where it was like, especially in some of the, especially in some of the industries that I've been in and building teams and serving people is you offer people an opportunity. And it's like, you know what? I'm going to come and I'm going to offer a chocolate chip cookie, right? You know what? That person might say, no, I don't want your chocolate chip cookie. What am I going to do? Am I going to cry about it? No, I'm going to be like, okay, more for someone else or more for me. Not everybody
who's making peanut butter cookies. I can refer you to them. Like, sorry, my chocolate chips aren't good enough for you.
Yeah. But somebody might be allergic to chocolate. So I think so.
I had something really messed up to say, but we're live, so I'm going to keep it.
You guys heard her, right? So
I'll tell you offline.
That's so funny. So I think Heather said that some people are so addicted to drama and negativity. That's all they know. And it's true.
Yeah.
And it's true. And that those are the type of people that I'm saying that I tried to serve as a coach. And I got to eventually say, listen, there's not a lot that I can do for you at this point. We've gone through weeks of trying to overcome some of these things, but you can't get over the first issue, right? This is funny. So I'm going to share this with you, and we're going to be wrapping up here in a minute. This is funny. So there are people in this world who have gone through a divorce, who have lost a job, right? And they're telling you about this divorce, or they're telling you about how this company screwed them over, and they're talking about it. And you ask them, man, when was this? Oh, it's like 7 years ago. And you're like, dude, you're still carrying that around with you? So when you carry that weight on you, you take it everywhere you go. And you cannot hire people like that. They are unhireable. So people, listen to me. If you have not let go and forgiven some of the things that have happened to you, you are unhireable for any type of secure position. I would not hire somebody who is holding on to something that's happened to them in the past, right? We can get through these things, but you cannot carry that with you, or you'll find something to not like about me. If you look long enough, you will find something you don't like about everybody.
Yes. Nailed it.
Right? It's so I got one more question for you. Dun dun dun. Sorry.
Drum roll.
I'm gonna ask you. Let me see what question I wish I had like a wheel that you could spin. No, I'm just kidding.
That'd be really fun, actually. We should try that.
It would be pretty cool, right? Entrepreneurial questions for the 20th century.
Sign me up.
Come on now.
Entrepreneurial Jeopardy. See?
That's hilarious. What do you feel are your set core values? What if you could, I'm not going to say the 5 or 7 that I always ask people to give me. Give me 2 of the top core values that you take with you through your relationships, through your business, through your parenting, through everything. What are those top 2 core values that makes Crystal Boss Lady O'Brien who she is?
Feelings and experiences.
Ooh.
Those create memories. Whether they're good or bad, you're going to remember them. And you can reflect on them, and you can make decisions in the future based off of those. I think that is probably the best answer I can come up with.
I love that. Feelings and experiences.
Yep.
Feelings and experiences, good or bad. It's a molding process. That's
I
pretty
always remember how
powerful.
I felt during that experience and my reactions and their reactions and
Mm,
what could be done differently or what could be repeated to make another positive experience. That's
wow. That's why you're the boss lady O'Brien.
boss lady.
I absolutely love that. I absolutely love that. Um, I first want to say I truly do appreciate you because I know you are a mother of two, and I know you work all day and you work hard. You got a lot going on, so I appreciate you taking time out tonight to really to come on and to share a little bit about yourself. I think this has been fantastic. It's been fun. I've enjoyed it.
It was fun.
Hopefully, yes, hopefully people got to experience a little bit and I just want them to get to know you because I truly think go follow boss lady Crystal O'Brien on Facebook. She is a blast on Facebook. She truly
A
is.
mess.
No, not a mess. I
A mess.
love it. But you know what? It's Crystal. It's authenticity. It's who you are, and I love that. And that's why I think authenticity and who you are when you really allow it to display is so super important. So I truly appreciate that. And brother Corey, thank you, Corey. You're pretty awesome too, man. I met Corey. Me and Corey had one conversation and we were introduced by Crystal. Crystal's phone died, and me and Corey just started talking the rest of the night. It was fantastic. But that's how
It was
awesome.
meant to happen.
Look, that's how awesome friendships are made, right? Yeah. And Corey's another gentleman and another entrepreneur who's doing great things. So I was absolutely.
Give them a shout.
Yes,
they
look.
Work.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
It is amazing how many great people are out there that we don't even know. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's so fantastic. So again, I thank you. Do you have anything on leadership with the up and coming people? Now I got you almost by a decade, so you're a next generation leader to me. I know I know I look like I'm 25. It just, it's in my genes, baby. But
you do not look your age.
I know, isn't that awesome?
At all. You are.
I could be my kid. So, is there any closing notes that you want to talk about? Anything to business owners, anything to next people who are trying in the industry, who are trying in entrepreneurship, who are just trying to make a change. Any ending comments you want to leave them with? Crystal bombs.
Crystal bombs. I like that.
Yeah,
I really like that.
Bomb.
Dang.
Woo, Rayisms.
Okay. So you may have a good idea. You may have the inspiration. No matter what it is, keep rolling with it. You may get kicked down. You may get discouraged. You may think you have limited resources. Oh, I don't have enough money for this, and I don't have the support for this. Everybody's going to think it's a dumb idea. Just keep going with it. Keep plugging, keep doing your research, and keep building onto your concept, because most likely, if it's a good idea, especially in your mind, and if you have that motivation and drive behind it, doesn't matter what it is, whether it's underwater basket weaving. If you have true faith in your concept and what you want to do, roll with it. Don't listen to the negativity. Don't listen to the crap people throw at you, because you're going to get those ones that are like, you're not going to make it. Just go get a 9-to-5. It's not like that being an entrepreneur. You want to work for yourself. It's in your blood. Do it.
Come on.
And if you have that passion, you will do it and you will succeed. You're going to get kicked down. Trust me. But if you keep plugging, if you keep that motivation going and you keep fighting, hell yeah, I'll see you at the top.
I absolutely. That one right there. That's that right there. I'm telling you right now, I hope you guys are paying attention, right? For those that are going to watch the replay, those that are listening right now, so important what she just dropped. I really, man, that right there reminds it, just because this is why myself tie into people like Crystal and her husband, and introduced to Corey, because Great people need to be around great people, because when you're constantly around encouragement and constantly around people who pick you up, then you can go into the crappy places and still know that you can make it. I always call it's like going back into the subway. A friend of mine says, you know what? I spent my whole life to get out of the subway so I can live in the metropolitan, but I live in the metropolitan to give me the strength so I can go back and help people that are in the subway. That's a powerful, powerful, powerful thing. And I love that's what you do.
Go into a crappy situation and evaluate it and be like, how can we make this better? It is
Amen.
a beautiful thing, a beautiful mindset to be in. You just got to find that mindset.
That makes me want to shimmy.
Removing the soapbox now.
Thank you, Sean. Look, Sean said we killed it. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I'm gonna leave you with this, and then we're gonna be gone. Right, Crystal, you were phenomenal tonight. Thank you so much. I can't tell you, just incredible. I love you to pieces anyway, so I'm a little bit biased, but I think you helped a lot of people tonight that were listening. I truly do, especially coming from a woman's perspective, the boss lady herself. But I want to share this as leaders, because this is basically, this is called next generation leaders. And that's what I believe Crystal is. Leaders always give a right perspective to people during crisis. They always give the right perspective to people during crisis. Not always the right answers. Leaders don't always give the right answers. Give the right perspective. They always give the right perspective, but they never, but it's not always the right answers, because sometimes there's not a right answer. But how we perceive things as leaders is how we will help people move forward in the way they see things, right? So I want you guys to understand that leadership isn't for everybody, but you can be a leader at some point in some place in your life when you make a decision. So guys, we're going to close up tonight. Thank you, Crystal, Boss Lady O'Brien.
Thanks,
I appreciate it. Man, I had a fantastic job. So I'm not going to go out with music, and this has been a great conversation. This conversation right here is what just fires me up, to see other people chasing their dreams and helping other people get to where they want to go. So I thank you for everything you do, Crystal, for your company. I appreciate everything you do for our community in Hagerstown. And, with that, guys, that is Boss Lady Crystal O'Brien. Follow her on Facebook. She is awesome. I am Raymond Wright, Right Way Leadership Transformational Coaching. And you guys already know. So with that, we're going to roll out of here. Love you guys to pieces. Have a blessed night. Have a great Friday. Love you guys to death. Deuces.
Hi.
I'm going to close it out, and I'll be with you on the back end.